Hello there, I'm Patricia Kelly, and today I'm joined by Arielle, and the two of us are going to be talking about gut bacteria, what your gut bacteria actually does for you, and the difference between prebiotic foods and probiotic foods. Hello, Arielle.
Hello, thanks for having me join you on Food for Thought.
Yeah, very happy to have you here. Yeah. So you were probably wondering then, like, what are some of the things that gut bacteria actually do for us?
Yeah, I'm very curious. Tell me all about it.
There's probably more than I could actually describe, but they're essential for our health, for everybody's health. One thing that gut bacteria do is they complete the digestion and help the absorption of a lot of our nutrients, such as like vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin K, some of the B vitamins. They also produce some vitamins, so they can actually make B12, vitamin B12, and vitamin K. They help to detoxify whatever harmful bacteria we might have accidentally eaten or drunk. They also kind of influence our immune system response. They also produce some really important brain chemicals as well, including like serotonin, which
makes us happy.
Exactly, yes, which is what we all need and we all want, especially in the wintertime.
So how do we get good gut bacteria?
Well, we're actually, we're born with it. So if we're born, we go through our mother's birth canal, that's when we're coated with her bacteria. And so people who are not born that way, who are born perhaps by a C-section, they're already put at a disadvantage. And I think in our modern society, actually most of us are sort of disadvantaged. We don't really have necessarily like a healthy, we call it a microbiome. It's all the different types of bacteria, and there could be up to 35,000 different species of bacteria that live in your gut. We're born with it. If we're drinking chlorinated water, if we're taking antibiotics, if we were born by C-section, if we were not breastfed, then we should be getting the probiotics, which are the beneficial bacteria, in our food. And it's actually pretty easy. I think if I asked you to name like 2 kind of fermented foods that, that had good bacteria, I'm sure you could easily name at least 2, I'll bet.
Fermented. I'm not sure about fermented, but I know yogurt has really good
that's
probiotics.
One. Yes. Any drinks or anything like that? Or people are drinking a lot of these today?
Kombucha?
Exactly. So there you go. Yeah. So like these lacto-fermented foods, they're everywhere now, right? And so you can find them pretty readily in like a natural food store or a supermarket, or you can make them yourself. So I brought just a few that I made last weekend. So, I mean, you can ferment almost anything that's like, it can be fruit, it can be vegetables, it can be fish or meat. And you can also ferment dairy. So what I did over here, I don't know if you want to open that up and give it a sniff. I won't ask you to drink it because we're under hot lights here, but what does it smell like? What does it look like?
It smells like milk.
Kind of like yogurt?
Yeah.
It tastes just like yogurt, but I didn't use like a yogurt culture, which is usually what you would use to make yogurt. I took buttermilk and just added a little bit to milk, and after 2 days of sitting on my counter, that's called clabbered milk. And you can drain away the liquid, the whey. You can end up with kind of like a yogurt cheese, and I think it's called quark. And I think that's a German word. I think it's for curd. So yeah, the Europeans, South and Central Europeans and Northern Europeans, they know all about fermenting the dairy. Yeah. And then over here, we've got the sort of the traditional sauerkraut. And so that's cabbage, but you can put in almost any type of vegetable. So I put in some turnip and some carrot too, just whatever I happen to have. And I mean, you make that by soaking it in a brine. And a brine is just salt water. And you just cover up, make sure that it's completely covered in the brine. And, within a week, you've got this preserved, this slightly fermented sauerkraut.
Nice.
And the third one over here, I used the same brine, so I used salt water again, but this time I tried raw fish. So I tried salmon. And I was a little leery about that because I think a lot of North Americans don't really want to eat raw fish, you know,
Right.
unless we go to a Japanese restaurant where
Like
they know
sashimi
what
or something, yeah.
they know what they're doing and we don't with raw fish. But I used the same salt brine, and for 24 hours I just had it submerged with some dill and some lemon, and it makes a really nice kind of pickled fish. Yeah, and what I like about that is that, you know, the oily fish, they're quite high in the omega-3 fatty acids, which
Right.
aren't supposed to be heated. So this is a good way to actually eat your fish, is pickled or a Japanese restaurant, yeah.
With milk and dairy, do we have to throw the milk out right away when it starts going bad, or how does the fermentation process work with that?
We probably don't have time to describe that, but that raises a really good point. Like if you are going to ferment at home, I would definitely say learn from somebody who has been fermenting successfully for a while. It's worth paying $40 or $50 for a workshop so that you know what you're doing. So when you go to your own kitchen, you don't accidentally end up making something that poisons you.
Right.
We had a lot more to say, but thank you, Arielle, very much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
And you're welcome. And that's been Food for Thought. Thank you.